Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Queen Naomi's healing journey is something that even people outside the palace can't help but talk about. It's almost like watching a flower bloom all over again after a season of drought. From the quiet way she now walks into a room, head slightly higher than before, to how her smile has started to reach her eyes again. It's clear that something is changing, and anyone paying attention knows the source of this change is the gentle, patient love of the Ooni of Ife. In the past month, the palace has been full of different tension. The other Oloris, particularly Ebony, have tried in all ways, to stay in the heart of the Ooni of Ife, to be seen, to be felt, to be adored. The way Queen Naomi is, Ebony especially had this habit of, composing songs and chant in praise of the Ooni of Ife, trying to take advantage of palace, activities, festivals, and public, ceremony to showcase her devotion. Her voice would echo through the palace courtyard, her hands lifted high, sometimes tears falling from her eyes as she praised him in front of the chiefs, visitors, and all others. But the truth is, these days the Ooni of Ife barely reacts. He washes her, maybe not politely, but his heart seems very far away from her attempt, and it's hurting Ebony deeply. She's even confided in some palace maid, crying that her songs no longer move him, that it feels like she's singing into empty air, that the Ooni's mind is elsewhere, lost on thought of Olori Naomi. In fact, Ebony bitterly, blamed Queen Naomi for her predicament. She believes that if Naomi had just stayed away, maybe permanently, perhaps the Ooni would have finally opened up more space in his heart for her and other Oloris. But now, with Queen Naomi's gentle return into the Ooni's emotional orbit, everything Ebony feared is becoming a reality. From, the information and, all the drama about, immunity removal, and all of that, Ebony is doing everything. That they are still doing their royal engagement here and there, moving from one place to the other, doing everything. Ebony has been praising and singing and praying for Ooni of Ife and all of that. But one of the most painful part of it is that everything she does tend to be falling into deaf ear, because Ooni of Ife doesn't seem to be like seeing or reacting that much to what she does. That those days, I remember coming here to tell you that if there's one person I love among the Oloris, like not love like that, I like the way she loves her husband, is Ebony. I used to say that a lot, because in public she praises her husband, she dances, as in she'll say so many good things about her husband. And up until now, the one woman who will come out openly to say those kind of things and praise and speak so well about Kabiyesi happens to be that same Ebony. But, those things used to, make Kabiyesi very happy with her. Like, after all of those praises, when she goes to meet with Kabiyesi will be hyping her, like, in a very lovely way and all of that. And, this time, and she's been doing more of that, like praise singing for the Ooni of Ife. As a matter of fact, the one she did recently, she was even doing it amidst tears. She was crying, okay, because of what she said she feels for her husband, how she loves her husband and all of that. But unfortunately, after all of that, everything that she said, she had the opportunity of meeting Ooni of Ife that evening. And Kabiyesi did not even make reference to those praises. Like normally he will make reference to the praises, whether he's there or not, information gets to him. They get to tell him what Ebony did, what Ebony said, and all of that. But this time, apparently somebody went back and told him everything, but he did not make reference, he didn't do anything, and that really broke the heart of Ebony. But then again, one thing again that everyone is seeing that is special, and people saw this in Queen Naomi's last visit to the palace. They said that the way things have gone in the palace with the Ooni of Ife and Olori Naomi, that Ooni of Ife's patient and love towards Olori Naomi, his gentle love and patience, okay, seemed to be building Olori Naomi's confidence even better. That Naomi seemed to be healing faster. Her smile clothes again in the palace, because before, when she would step into the palace, she stepped into the palace like a stranger, but right now she seems to be gathering momentum. When she steps into the palace, she steps into the palace like the Olori Naomi that they used to know. And so that is what is going on. And they say recently Ebony has been crying, saying that this all is happening because of Olori Naomi. If Naomi had stayed away, that, things would have been different. Okay. But what people often forget is how much, pain Queen Naomi herself went through. This healing didn't start overnight. For a long time after stepping away from the palace, she battled with deep self-doubt. It was as if the heavy expectation of being the Ooni's wife had crushed her, spirit. There were nights she couldn't even sleep. Her own mother used to sit by her side, praying softly while Naomi lay staring at the ceiling, tears streaming, quietly. So seeing her now slowly rebuilding her confidence, bit by bit, is a miracle on its own. The Ooni of Ife has been extremely deliberate about this. He doesn't rush her. When they are together, he often listens more than he speaks. Sometimes he simply holds her hand, rub gently circles on her palm, and let her talk about her fears, her dreams, her guilt over, leaving, okay? Because, yeah, sometimes she talks about it, or even her confusion about stepping fully back into the palace. Yes, she talks about it with the Ooni of Ife. He reassures her in simple, tender words. He calls her my, Naomi, reminding her that beyond all the royal duties, beyond the titles, beyond the noise, it is still her heart he wants. It's this type of quiet, unwavering support that is helping Naomi stand tall again. The Ooni has also been arranging small, private talks here and there, for Olori now, sometimes under the stars in the palace, the royal gardens and royal mansion garden, no audience, no elders, just, Ooni of Ife himself, just two of them, okay? Soft music from a flute player in a distance. That Ooni of Ife has done a lot and put in so much work to heal Olori Naomi. It's during this moment that Naomi's real laughter has started returning, the kind that makes her throw her head back and press her hand against her chest, the kind that shows she is slowly coming back to herself. Meanwhile, every other Olori, like Oloris who are watching and seeing what is going on, are increasingly, worried, especially Ebony. Palace 8 says she doesn't even hide her tears anymore. Last week, she reportedly locked herself in a room after seeing the Ooni accompany Naomi to, the car that was supposed to take Naomi back to the palace, holding the door, just standing behind the one of her aide, that is Olori Naomi's aide, who held the door for Olori Naomi to enter. And this whole thing has really, really, made Ebony feel bad, and she is indeed blaming that if Naomi is truly a child of God, Naomi will speak to the Ooni of Ife for them to stay back in the palace. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.